Good morning and happy Boxing Day to you. I am Olajumoke Olatunji. Violent protests have followed the death of a Tunisian journalist who set himself on fire and called for a revolution over poor living conditions and corruption. Abdulrazak Zorjo's death has triggered protests in Kazare, a provincial city. The protest could potentially spread to other cities, and clashes between protesters and police erupted for the second day in the country. On Christmas Day, after the journalist's self-immolation, Zorjo had posted a video online before setting himself on fire. In the video, he lamented on unemployment, poverty, and corruption. He died on Monday after being taken to the hospital. After Zorjo's funeral on Tuesday, renewed clashes erupted in an impoverished city 165 miles from the capital, Tunis. The National Union of Tunisian Journalists says Zorjo had died protesting what he called difficult social condition and a lack of hope. The union has considered or was considering a strike. 8 years ago, a similar event took place in which a street vendor, Mohamed Bouaziz, had set himself on fire to protest the same problems: unemployment, corruption, and repression. Christmas in the Sudan was marked by violent protests in the streets of Khartoum against President Omar al-Shabaab's 3 decades as leader of the country. And these 3 demonstrators were wounded on Tuesday when security forces lobbed tear gas and fired gunshots to disperse protesters. Some of the gunshots and tear gas were fired to bar protesters from marching into the presidential palace. Reuters news agency reports that eyewitnesses say 3 protesters had been wounded by gunshots, one of them in the head. Officials had previously said 12 persons had been killed, even though they claimed security forces had exercised restraint and had dealt with the protesters in a civilized manner. Amnesty International contradicted that report by saying close to 40 persons had died. We'll be back after this message. Stay with us.
MTN gives 2,000% bonus for reactivating your MTN SIM. That's right. If you haven't used your MTN SIM for 45 days or more, recharge now and get 2,000% bonus. That's right, 2,000% bonus for your first recharge of every month.
An explosion believed to have been caused by a car bomb went off when a suicide bomber targeted the entrance of Libya's foreign ministry on Wednesday, where 3 persons were killed, including a prominent militia leader identified as Abdurrahman Muzugi of the Revolutionary Brigade. Officials say a second attacker was shot dead by guards before he could detonate his explosive vest. The health ministry confirmed the death toll and said 10 others were wounded. Meanwhile, the so-called Islamic State has claimed responsibility for the attack. And that's CNN News Brief. Thanks for watching. For details on this and other stories, visit our website, cnnafrica.net. Also join the conversation on Facebook, facebook.com/ANNAfricaTV, Instagram and Twitter @ANNAfricaTV. I am Olajumoke Olatunji.